Welcome back, my fellow strangers out here. This is another episode of Conversation with Strangers. It's your girl, Tri-State.
James Baxter.
Vibes.
Katara.
And we are talking about family matters today. So, the first thing we need to actually talk about is what is family. So, I looked it up and went on to websterdictionary.com and stuff. And they said the definition that they have is a basic unit in society traditionally consisting of two parents rearing their children. Also, various social units differing from but regarded as equivalent to traditional families. So what y'all think about that definition, what I just said right there?
I guess that's pretty accurate in the terms of if you want to be technical about it. When I think of family, I'm thinking like, blood relation. But I also know that we have people that we can basically, I guess, adopt into our lives that might become our family as well. Like I have friends that I consider family. And then I have blood relatives that I'm probably not even that close to.
That's true. I could say, for instance, like I look at my grams and her best friend. Well, that ain't even my best friend. That's not even her best friend. That's her sister at this point. Anytime my grandma is 76, and they've been friends since 9 years old, like over like 50 years of friendship, you're no longer considered just a friend. You're family at that point.
Yeah.
So family can mean so many different things. So I agree with you on that, Katara. What do you guys think?
By technicality, I really think that, by technicality, family is pretty much everyone you share a common ancestor with. But I don't know. I think that's a really loosely used word everywhere.
So let me ask you this question: when you bring up common ancestor,
Yeah.
Could the argument be put out here because we've been through so many different lines and so many different generations, we can be connected and not even know it. You understand
100%.
what I'm saying?
Honestly, yeah, no, that's scary to think about. So I think a lot of people don't really acknowledge that. But yeah, you really don't know who you're related to. I mean, yeah, you can look back and everything, but you can only look back so far. You really don't know who you're actually very distantly related to.
Right. But also depending on the family, like my grandfather or whatever, my mom's father, he so him and my grandmother, they had my mom together. And then he remarried someone else after that. He already had my mom. She already had 4 kids. They had 4 more together. Then he moved on to his third wife and they had 1 more together. But it's just years ago when my younger sister and one of my younger cousins, they had they met each other through some mutual friends, and he low-key was trying to talk to her at first. And she was like, dude, we're cousins. But he didn't know that. Even when she first told him, he was kind of but then when my grandfather passed away back in 2013, when we was all at the funeral, he was like, okay, we really are cousins. We was all sitting on the first couple rows. It's okay, we really are cousins. So it's kind of important to know who your family is for reasons like that.
I mean, yeah, that is true. What you think, Bobs? What you think family is?
Family, I agree with y'all. It's just, I feel like it is, you gotta be related to the person, be technically considered family. But yeah, I think you can, friends you meet along the way in life, you can adopt them as your family. I used to think, when I was younger, family and friends used to be completely separate. I didn't treat my friends how I treat my family, didn't treat my family how I treat my friends. And I just it was just different. But yeah, I think now it can just be interchanged.
I'm kind of glad you brought that up or whatever. I think a lot of times people feel obligated to oh, I gotta ride or I gotta hold this person down because they my family. But if this person is bad for you, regardless of blood relation or not, you don't have to keep that person around. be it a parent, a child, a cousin, a brother, a sister, whoever. Like, I mean, I think most people, out of genuine love that we kind of almost naturally have for family, because you kind of grow up together, you would try to do that, but you're not obligated to do that either.
Just because y'all happen to be related.
So do y'all think it's okay to cut like toxic family members off?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, I think it's okay to
Hell
cut anybody
yeah.
who's not good for you off.
I think a lot of people feel that way, but I also feel like a lot of people have trouble putting that into practice.
Yeah.
Like you have some people. I know a couple who have, like, I'm not gonna say easily. I don't think it was easy, but I'm saying like after they tried a couple times, probably to help this person out in whatever type of way, whether it's financially, whether it's to help somebody to like maybe get off of drugs or alcohol or whatever, they might kind of just throw their hands up with it and be like, I'm done.
Right.
But then you have people, I don't even know if they realize they are enabling these people, but they will enable them.
Yeah, see, it's tough because my family is very family oriented, and so like even if there's a family member that's super toxic, they'll try to help them no matter what, because we family, we got to stick together.
But saying that what you're saying, like the family oriented, I can honestly say, if you don't agree with me, I feel like 9 times out of 10 black families are very family oriented. You can be doing the shittiest, you could be the shittiest person and be the most vile, evil person. And if the cops are looking for you, they will do everything in their power so that the cops won't get you. Even though we know you know what that person is up to no good. So I kind of do agree with you. We do enable, because in a way, when you have toxicity in a family, and because we're so family oriented, I feel like things happen that shouldn't happen. Even if you might be the most fucked up person in the world, but if they know you in trouble, they're going to make sure that you're protected and and don't care about anybody else because you're family. And I feel like because we're that way, it's almost like it's like a blessing and a curse almost. Because we're so close, that is a blessing. But it is a curse also, because then how many times have we gotten into generational curses because we're family? You understand what I'm saying?
I get that. And what I was saying is that I don't feel like that's just a thing with black families. I just think that's a thing with families in general. And like popular example I could use is like most people know who the Duggar family is, or if you don't know the name the Duggar family, you know probably the show 19 Kids and Counting or whatever. And that's like their oldest son, Josh Duggar or whatever. You know, it ended up coming out, and that's why the show got canceled, that I guess back like when they were a little younger, he had touched or molested like 3 or 4 of the older girls or whatever. And it's like his wife, Anna is still with Josh to this day or whatever. But that's kind of like the breakdown and the divide of their family right now. You have some of the older daughters who don't want to have anything to do with the family because of that, because they tried to cover it up, because they tried to keep it a secret. They were protecting him, but at the same time, they were leaving their girls out to like to hang and dry, basically. It's like, how can I heal with this man still living in the house? So it's just like, I don't think that's really a black family thing. I think that's just all families in general. I think we can only speak from our perspective.
Yeah, maybe I should have just said that.
But I feel like that's something that affect all families, to be honest.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like, see, and I said that to say because people really be thinking like we really so different out here, but it's like, really, everybody is the same. We really all go through some of the same things and life experiences, be it good or bad.
Now going back to cutting family members off, what does that family member have to do for you to be cut off? Did they have to do something big, or can they just be like, you just don't mesh with that person or something like that?
I think it varies. It varies people's thresholds. You know, you could put up with a whole lot of shit and be like, done with you.
Like, I ain't gonna get into no specifics of who in my family I'm talking about, but I definitely have family members that, like, I used to be closer to, but because they are kind of toxic, like, I love them, but I deal with them from a distance. Like, I can't have too much of you. I have to have you in small doses.
Yeah.
Felt.
Because if it's in large doses, then I'm probably just gonna cut you off altogether. So, yeah.
Personally, I think it doesn't have to be nothing major. I mean, if it's something major, that's a no-brainer. But like, even if you're like at least mildly unpleasant to be around, sure, I can deal with it. But like, if you're just not good to be around in general, we can be cool. We're family. You know what I'm saying? I still love you. But like,
Yeah.
you won't really see much of me.
Yeah, I think I kind of can relate to that. I'm not going to say who in my family, but it's just like, well, damn. If I get the impression you feel this about me, why am I going to waste my time, my energy, my love? If I don't feel that I'm going to get that in return. Do y'all, okay, for we saying that, do y'all feel that just because a family member does something to you, do y'all feel like do people, it's been put to me like, you don't have to stoop that low. You raise above that, if that makes sense.
I mean, I feel like that ain't nothing to just. I feel like that's in general. I mean, I think it depends on the individual. Like, I know me. Okay, now you show me your true colors and how you are. I'm gonna keep it pushing. I just don't have to deal with you. I'm not gonna try to be petty or stoop to your level or get my lick back or whatever. Like,
Not even so much get your lick back, but like because they're not doing something, that doesn't mean you shouldn't have to. That doesn't mean you don't have to do it. If that makes sense.
I get what you mean.
you mean okay? Give
Oh,
me
so,
give me an
okay,
example. I get
example.
what you're saying, but that's not where my mind
Okay.
was at when you.
Let's say you have a relative, right? And they say, "Oh, you need to call this relative. You need to call this relative." Mind you, where's that relative? When do they take the initiative to call you or come visit you or whatever? No, but I'm expected to do that because it's the high ground. I believe I'm still taking the high ground because I can't force a person to have a relationship with me.
I get that, and that kind of reminds me of something that me and my counselor had talked about a few weeks ago. Cause like, okay, me and my dad, for example, we not that close. Like, I talk to my mom every day, every other day. Me and my dad, our relationship don't really bother me. It is what it is. But I will say is like nothing really happened where we couldn't be close or have a better relationship. I be feeling like because he's the parent, he should kind of set the tone for that. But at the same time, when I look back at probably the way that he grew up in his household and how his dad probably was with them, it makes sense why he wouldn't. Like, I feel like he just don't know how to build that relationship with me and
And
my
that's
sister.
fair. That's fair.
I think a lot of the times we put, and I'm not saying parents don't have some level of responsibility, but at the same time, it's like you kind of have to extend grace to your parents as well. It's like, I'm 32 right now. I don't have any kids. I'm not married. My parents got married at 25, had me at 28. Like, there's no way they had that shit figured out. I still don't have it all figured out right now, and I'm doing this by myself with no other life to take care of. So it's just like, but I will say, I feel like if something bothers you, then I feel like it's worth working on it, whatever it is.
I feel like extending grace to your parents is kind of a thing, as in, yeah, you don't owe your parents anything, but at the same time, they also didn't really have to do everything they did either. But don't get me wrong, it is definitely their responsibility if they have kids to take care of them, but at the same time, they definitely could have just left you somewhere. But instead, they gave up whatever it is they did to, you know what I'm saying, help you get what you need or at least get to where you at now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like there's some sense of appreciation that has to come with that.
So we've talked about.
If you don't mind,
Yes,
before
ma'am.
you move on, I just wanted to spill a little bit of tea really quick. I'm not gonna make it too hot though.
Here we are.
I'm gonna just use the term family members.
Right.
So I had 2 family members that are more closely related than I am to each other. Because I want to go back into you said about cutting people off or whatever. Now, one of these said family members introduced the other said family member to her partner at the time because she was trying to help this other family member get a job. But now the partner and the other family member are together. Like they had a kid together, they got married, like to this day they still together. And this happened years ago. Years ago. And kind of like you said, like some of the older family members were like, well, you know, y'all are still family. And it would have been fuck that bitch. I'm just saying, it definitely would have been fuck that bitch. It would have been fuck that bitch.
So wait a minute, this family member got this person a job.
Help to get this person a job.
Had a whole relationship, had kids, all that.
A kid, yeah.
And they left him?
Yeah. Like they still with this other family member to this day, and I just think it's messy.
Yeah,
Oh, they hella messy.
wow.
It's one thing to kind of like sleep around, but it's like
Where your morals
Thanksgiving,
at?
like I gotta come around and still see y'all, and Christmas, and
I think
like
people. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm not saying like you have to see them, but just like it's like, do I completely detach myself from the family altogether, or do I still show up and have to see y'all all the time?
I think that's
it's
where the
just one of
boundaries need to be set. Listen, they can be around here, but I don't have to be here. You understand what I'm saying?
And it's not even a fact of being bitter, but like I still know that had to hurt, like because every time you see this person or every time you see this kid, like that has to be like to me somewhat triggering.
I think people like forget that family or not, people are still people.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna do the shit people are gonna do.
So we
Gotta have a
talked
cousin
about
Ebony.
RP.
we talked about family. We talked about why family. Oh no, we didn't talk about why do family matter. Why do you I believe
Ooh, I was gonna
family
save that for the
matters?
last one.
I think that anybody who helps you to be a better person matters. That's the best way I can answer that.
I feel like it's as regards to like being a family, whether we're blood related or like we just like really like hooked up and we got to that point that we're family. I think those people who are still around on your worst times, your bad times, and are still around on your good time and didn't switch up on you, I think those are the people you will want to be close to. Those are the people you will want to be in your life the most. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like that's the true definition of like family. You could be, like I said, you could be on your worst hell. You could be on your damn near deathbed. And the people you know, even if you can try. So for instance, like, I have a twin. And we made this joke. And it's like, and it's true. I could be mad at her for 20 years. But if I found out something was really bad going on with her family or her financial situation or whatever, we may not talk, but I'm not going to let you out there suffering either. Like, and it's the same thing with her. It's vice versa with her. She know we're not talking, but I'm in a bind and she got it. She's going to make sure I got my back. She got my back no matter what. And those are the type of people I would want in my corner, in a way, in a sense. The good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
To me.
I mean, I feel the same way. My ex-best friend probably don't know I feel that way. But, like, if I found out to this day, even though we don't talk, we haven't talked in, like, a couple of years. But if I found out, like, if she really needed something to this day, I would still do it for her. I would still do it for her. But I also, again, that goes back to like the individual and the person, because some people are just shitty people and they don't have good intentions. Like you said, the deathbed, like that got me to think about family. Like they be wait. Some people be waiting for somebody to die
Hell
so they
yeah,
can get
it's
some money.
funny.
Or
Like,
you got
why?
people that be killing people out here for like a life insurance policy.
Well,
Same.
I
And
won't
that's
need,
crazy.
I don't want to put out there I won't put my whole life story out there, but boy, oh boy, woo!
I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
you just never really know. That's what, and every time I watch those crime shows, they be like, they were the perfect family, and they this and they that and they
Shit.
did.
Were they
Let
really
me
the
tell
perfect
y'all,
family?
it ain't no such thing as no perfect family.
Were they really the perfect family? That's the question you need.
I'm not gonna lie, I
to
kind of
act.
love that everyone's family is just a little like fucked up. It always kind of, it just kind of reminds me that we're all human.
Cause people are fucked up.
You
Oh.
need a little bit of fucked upness in your family.
Mhm.
You need a little bit of crazy in your family. That's what makes us different. That's what makes us gel. If you can deal with that type of crazy, then you can deal with any type of crazy.
I will say, I feel like in our community though, certain things need to not happen, or even if they do happen, like they need to be dealt with.
So-
And
the
I'm
rest of your
going
family.
back slightly to what you low key brought up before
Yeah.
about like children being in danger and at risk and stuff. And that's such a touchy subject. I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but like I know for a fact that happened in my family. I know for a fact that happened in my family.
It's
And
ridiculous how commonplace that shit is.
yeah, and I felt like it should have been handled way differently than what it was handled. I'll say that. Way differently.
So we talked about
Oh.
why family matters. Friends have a family. Do you owe your parents anything?
We didn't really get deep into that, and I think we should.
What do you mean?
We can start on this side.
Families you
Vibes.
choose.
Yeah,
Vibes.
my man.
Vibes. Do you owe your parents anything?
I don't think so. I mean, to a certain extent, because I didn't ask to be here, so like like
Tricky, huh?
it's I don't know. Like you do, but you don't. I don't know. It's it can go either way.
Again, I agree with Vibes on that one. It's a catch-22 because you feel like your parents brought you into this world when they didn't have to, and you kind of want to give back their favor. Thank you for giving me life, and you want to give them the world. However, at the same time, somebody can give you life but don't give you no type of nutrients to navigate the world. So then you give me all this effed up baggage. What the hell am I going to do with it? You know what I'm saying? So I don't owe you anything because now I feel like I have to fix all of that to become the person I need to be for my, just not just for society, but for myself, mainly for myself.
Yeah.
You got me in spurts. You got me in spurts. Well, I mean, I don't feel like I owe them anything at all. I do feel like I should be grateful that the fact, you know what I'm saying, the fact that they did choose to take care of me, not the fact that they brought me here. I didn't choose to be here paying bills and whatever ghetto ass shit this is. But I'm at least appreciative I got what I did get because it could have been much worse. It could have been way worse. Yeah.
I think that question had to be posed. I know I'm lucky and fortunate enough to not have to do for my parents. Now, that's not to say, like, as they get older and physically they might need help with things. And even if I have to maybe do some things financially, my parents are pretty much financially set, secured, all that stuff. But I know people who have to help their parents out sometimes, maybe financially, and I know that's got to be hard. And of course, like, you want to try to do it, but at the same time, it's like, how can I get ahead, especially for some people who might already have kids of their own. Like, I have my own kids at home to feed and clothe, and do all of this stuff. Or even if they don't have kids, they have their own home to take care of, their own bills to pay or whatever. But they kind of taking care of this said grown person.
But see, here's the difference between, giving your parents everything and giving your parents everything. I know it seems crazy what I'm about to say. Hear me out though. You can make sure your parents is good, but not without crippling you. You get what I'm saying? It's like, mommy, I'm like, I'm gonna see what I can do. If it's like a little bill here or there, like something I'm not gonna miss, cool, I got that. I'm still helping you out. But as far as I gotta make your whole lifestyle,
But you have some parents who will try to guilt trip their kid into that shit. Like,
I don't think that's right.
it's not right, but I'm just saying people do it.
And I'm like, who was a prime example of that? Look at all the kids that get drafted into the professional sport, any professional sport, and parents feel that because they did all of this stuff, I gotta give you $1 million. What? And you wondering why when they at the end of their playing career, in 5 years they broke? Cause I gotta take care of you, I gotta take care of sis, I gotta take care of families who didn't even fuck with me when I had nothing. How is that fair to me?
It's not.
I mean, it's not fair, but like I say this like all the time. They've been telling us our whole lives life is not fair. But I mean, also, you don't exactly have to deal with that. Some people may try to put pressure on you for that, but like, you don't have to.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I said there's a difference between taking care of your parents and taking care of your parents. It's a big difference. Big difference.
Yeah, and sometimes the best way to get rid of a leech is to just pull it off. Just burn it off, get it up off you.
Damn straight.
Because some people, they just they will literally bleed you dry. Literally.
Yeah. And you wondering why you got a heart attack at 45, 40, or the damn stress. Hell no. Stress
Is
be
that
over
not
here.
normal in the 40s?
Huh?
Is a heart attack not normal in the 40s?
Oh,
That's pretty young.
that's pretty young. Damn. Do y'all believe that parents put adulthood onto kids too fast? I say yes.
Yes, but you have to.
Hear me out when I say this. I say yes. I would say preferably in the. I can't speak for every community. I can only speak for the black community. I believe that 18, you're still a kid. You're just now getting into adulthood.
Just not it. They can only vote.
Exactly. You can't do nothing else but vote and go to war. Vote and go to war. But you can't drink. You can't.
Is there anything more?
You can't do get guns. You can't even have. You can't even get a business loan.
Depending on where you're at, you can get a gun.
And you
Depending on what state.
You can't get a handgun.
Well, shit.
You can get a rifle or a shotgun.
Well, hell, how am I gonna be walking around? I can't walk around that all that if I'm trying to be discreet with my shit.
Not everyone is.
Shit. I don't mind because I can say I'm hunting, but that's a different discussion for a different day.
Keep going. Yeah,
but you can barely do anything, but you expect me to know because I'm 18. I know the whole world, and then you wondering why our generation have the most debt because you put adulthood instead of you guiding us into adulthood. Okay, you're 18 now, so now like it's like when you're a kid, you gradually get steps put onto you. Now, if one thing, if your parents ain't really been doing shit, go ahead.
I don't think adulthood puts us into debt. I think pressuring kids to go to school puts us into debt. It was like you need the bachelor's, and then you go get the bachelor's, and then they say now you need a master's. And now you remember College Dropout? That
Kanye
album,
album?
yes.
Yeah.
It's like that fucking skit he was talking about. Where you go get your bachelor's and your master's, and you know what's gonna keep you warm after all them, all that,
Yeah.
all them goddamn degrees.
Classic album, I'm just gonna say.
I think it's definitely the pressure that pushes into that, because when you're 18, you don't know what you want to do because you still don't know shit.
That's what I'm saying,
But
though. It's
they
not.
just kind of push you to school just because they expect, you know what I'm saying, you to do something.
But I feel
Right.
like it's not just.
don't
I
have
feel
time to
like
think about
it's it's not just school debt. I feel like it's commercial debt too, because it's like, okay, I'm out here. I gotta pay rent. I gotta do all this,
Yeah,
but I don't have the necessary skills to do all of that.
yeah. They didn't teach you that.
So now I gotta put myself into situations I don't need to put myself into. And now you wondering why I got all this damn debt. And I'm in my 30s just trying to figure it out.
But I mean,
you know
a
what
lot
I'm
of
saying?
our parents also kind of were, or whichever you were used to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That, so naturally, they couldn't tell you much that they didn't know. Yeah, if
Yeah,
they could figure out
that's
how to
true.
be debt free, then you know what I'm saying? They would have probably told us, but they don't know.
True. What
Yeah.
y'all think?
My dad taught me financial literacy like growing up. So he taught me about debt, credit cards, all that shit. And he hated credit cards because he just didn't like how like the dad piles up and you gotta pay that shit like later and shit. So he always taught me never get a credit card, never get a credit card. But then growing up, you see how much credit is actually power in today's world now. You can do anything with credit, but if your credit bad, good luck.
Or if you have no credit.
Credit. I think
Yeah,
having
that's
no
It's good to have at
credit,
least one.
no
Just do
credit
one
is
card.
just as bad
Don't
as
use it for
having
nothing.
bad credit. You know what I'm saying?
It
Because
is.
you
Yeah.
can have a poor man in your life and you're like, oh, my life was just fucked up.
Because if you have no history, they don't know if you're trustworthy or not. You don't
You're
want to
not.
take that chance.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I think okay, so I'm gonna pose another question and the opposite of that. It's like sometimes parents, I guess, push kids into adulthood too fast, but then sometimes I think parents also enable their kids to not be adults either.
Oh, that's
Like
true.
you got grown people that still be living at home in their 40s, 50s. Now that's not to say sometimes situational things, whether it's a divorce or this or that, might not put you back at home for a little bit so you can find something else. Or like you might lose a job, you might need to slide back home or whatever if you don't have nowhere else to stay. But to just be there and have these people enabling you, that's crazy to me.
I think really I don't think the issue with people still being at home is the issue. It's the issue is that they have no goals to get out of that situation. Like for me, for instance, I'm still living at home, but at the same time, I don't feel like when I move out, when I'm ready to move out, I don't want to rent. I want to buy.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get my stuff together so that when I move out, oh no, I'm buying. It's going to be something that I own.
But your
not
people
something
not
that-
enabling you either.
I mean, that's true too.
Like,
Like
you
they,
have-
they be like, you a damn live. I'm going to sit here and take care of your ass.
you
and
got a
you can
plan.
go out and
Yeah.
go to work.
That's different. I ain't talking about that. Like I didn't went back home like as an adult, but I'm just saying like literally people that just be at home and I don't get it. I don't get it. So maybe in some instances, yes, parents do push their kids out too early, but some of them don't do it soon enough. It's like, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like the best way to do something is to go do it and go do it on your own.
Yep.
You always gonna feel comfortable because you like, oh, I can stay at home at mommy and daddy house. I can stay at mommy, like, no,
Nah.
mommy house is closed. Mommy house is closed. You gotta go out here, you gotta go get it. And then I think about, like, if that person have a kid too, like, how does that look to your children?
You know the best movie that actually
I'm kicking my kids out early.
just depict what you're saying, and I'm like, damn, I'm kind of like glad I watched it when I did to really understand the pretexts of it instead of when people was like, oh, it's hot. I think Baby Boy is the best. No, I'm being for real. Like, I feel like to talk about what you're saying, like, Baby Boy was like the best depicted of what you were saying. Like, it was a hood classic. I recommend
sure.
it. Hood classic.
When he was in the salon, so he closed.
Hood classic, but that is like real. Like when you look at it from an analytical perspective, like that is like on some real shit.
You never seen Baby Boy?
Watch it. Hood classic.
No, for sure.
Watch it, but watch it with an analytical mind. Cause they were dropping dimes and that shit. I was like, damn.
I feel like most of the black classics did.
Yeah, same with Boys in the Hood.
With
Like,
lesson after lesson. And it's funny because ironically, I see all of these movies have the same effect that Romeo and Juliet did on people. It's trying to tell you everything you really shouldn't be doing, and everyone says this is it right here. This is the answer. This is who I gotta be.
But y'all want to add anything to that?
You think y'all your parents' favorite?
Yes.
do I
If
think-
I could definitely be honest, yes.
I'm gonna be for real. I know this might sound crazy. I don't feel like my parents have a favorite.
I don't think so either. I don't think my mom had favorites.
I don't think
I
my
think
parents have a favorite.
I think we've been able to blend our differences.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my sister and my mom are more like, I'm more like than my dad,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean they didn't love us any differently. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think I'd rather say okay. I think I'm my parents' preference. I wouldn't say favorite. I don't think they'll actually.
Why do you feel that your favorites for your parents' preference?
I come with literally no trouble. I don't need shit, and I never ask for anything.
Okay.
Yeah, same with me. That's the same reason.
I'll never call.
Yeah.
I need help with rent. I need help with this. No, never. They come visit. Everything's here, clean, taken care of, in place. I cook. I can help out with stuff if needed, and it helps take some stress off their back.
Yeah, I think my parents, like me and my sister, for different reasons. Like they don't have a favorite, but like just on different shit, they like her better. On different shit, they like me better. It's just
Yeah.
Do y'all think it's a problem, like, for a parent to have a favorite?
Hell yeah.
no, I don't.
Oh,
think
to have
I
a
think
favorite,
it's-
yes. To have a
yes.
preference,
Yeah.
no. We all have.
No.
We all got a
Yeah,
parent
but-
we'd rather prefer to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like me. Like, I'm way closer to my mom, but even with me saying that, like, I can't be like, oh, my mom is my favorite parent. Like,
Definitely.
we just closer, you know?
Yeah, it's like I can't speak to my mom. I'm a big basketball head. I can't speak to my mom basketball like I can speak to my dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't speak. And I'm not saying that he don't like movies, but I feel like my mom, like I can speak movie like talk with my mom or
Yeah.
different things with my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like it really is just a preference. But having a favorite, it just shows like, and you wonder why you in the nursing home. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
That's terrible.
You wonder why you in the nursing home. But I'm being for real though.
That's terrible. It's so funny. Like,
No, it is.
I'm not gonna go too much off topic, but have y'all seen a movie on Netflix called like I Care a Lot? I think it is.
No.
No.
It's like this old lady and she got like money, and like this lady show up to her house one day.
Oh yeah, I heard of it.
Yeah, it's like it's crazy, but something like that just happened in real life. It was on the news, but they basically
what happened?
they basically like sucked this lady dry of all her money. Like they get her to sign these papers, and then she's staying at like this old folks home, and they don't know that like basically her
No,
adopted
but
son is like he like a killer, and he like got to break her out this nursing home. But it's like these two ladies, and they like
But
they
then
be out here finessing people.
But I'm just saying though, like like, I think Tyler Perry's movie was like that too. They had like that was on Netflix, Fall from Grace. It was like that too.
Oh yeah, pretty
Yup.
much.
And
yeah.
then I saw something. What the hell show was I watching? I can't. It was a crime show too. These damn crime shows. And like the lady, they could like I think it was Unsolved Mysteries or some shit. I forget. But I was watching it, and this guy, they couldn't charge him with murder because they don't know if he actually murdered the woman or not. But they do. But they did charge him with like stealing from her. He got like 10 years off of that shit. And we really got
He got
old
10
people.
years?
10 years for
Bro.
stealing.
They couldn't get him for the murder, but they got him for stealing.
No, they didn't. They don't know if she's murdered or not. They were saying that she might be in some nursing home
should've
and nobody
got
knows her.
They should've
That's
got
why
him
she
over
was
their
that
lawyer.
movie.
Yeah.
That movie she was talking about. That's pretty much what they were doing. They was putting people in nursing homes and shit,
Yeah.
and like drugging them up, and then so they don't know who they are.
And they
they're
just
under
signing
the
over their
choice.
house, and they
Oh.
would pick people that they knew did not have family,
Yeah.
or like
The
did
family
not
don't look into it.
talk to you. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. But
That's-
that brings me back. Well, it don't bring me back. This gave me like a question in my head. Do y'all feel like because somebody is older in your family that it like give them a pass to be downright rude and say like
No.
Hell no.
hateful stuff? Like,
Hell no.
Because some of these old people, like, I don't know if they just don't give a fuck because they get old,
Yeah,
or they so
probably that,
used to
in my
somebody
opinion.
not checking them like throughout their
It's
life.
probably because they old.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
real honest with y'all. I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. I don't think I was able to actually sit at the table until I was like 25.
Oh damn.
But that's my thing, right? So now you at the table. Okay, I'm 25 or however old. I'm grown, and then you got the girl over here thinking they can say,
Whatever they want
okay,
to say.
yeah, thinking they can say whatever they want
And
to
you
say.
can't. That's how respect. Like if you want me to respect you, I want you to respect me. That's it. No more, no
Yeah.
less.
Like, and I can say this, but like it's so bad. But my first girlfriend or whatever, like her grandma was very religious. She didn't like the fact that she was gay or whatever, you know. So I'm at the house one day and they get into this little argument or whatever.
Yeah.
And her grandma had said something about, oh, you gonna go to hell. And she was like, well, I'll see you there. And I'm like, damn, like, you done told this 90-year-old lady that? Like, that's so wild.
I ain't gonna lie.
But
No,
at the
but
same
it's-
time, like, she asked for that. Like,
No, but at the same time too, you gotta let people know. Like I'm sorry to say this to my peoples, and I'm glad I got that relationship with my grams that we can sit down and talk about shit, you know, and be like. And sometimes she be saying shit. I be like, whoa, wait a minute. I would love to be my grandma friend growing up if she was my age. But now on some real shit though, it's like I'm glad I do have the grandmother. I have a grandparent that or grandparents that understand. Like I'm grown, you understand. But then I have relatives too. Like, oh no, you and grown for what do you mean? Like I'm of age. Like nobody pays my bills. I pay my own bills. I pay my own way. So I feel like I should have that same respect. So whatever you get out my mouth, that's how I really feel. Period.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't fight too much when it comes to like squabbles with older folks. I usually don't get into it. And it's kind of, I don't know if it's a bad way of thinking about it. The reason I don't is because I sit here, and if we wait out the time, I'm gonna still be here in like 20 years. I still have at least 20 years, and I know you kind of know, so I'm gonna let you have this win. I know I'm gonna let you have this win because it ain't that many left to be getting, to be honest.
That's fucked up.
So I just don't fight it. I got youth on my side.
That's fucked
That's
up.
fucked up.
But it's true.
I know, but like that's why I just don't fight it.
Yeah, I feel that.
you damn near called him a coffin dodger without calling him a coffin dodger.
Well, since we on the topic of favorite parents and stuff, do y'all think we have sibling rivalry?
I know for me
Not
and my
exactly.
sister we don't, but I know some people I can think of that have had that. Or not even if it's rivalry, like feuds. Like I know siblings that feud a lot. And that's not to say me and my sister don't ever feud. I'd be lying if I fucking said that. We definitely have our moments. But
Like Tom and Jerry.
like dead out like rivalry and feud, nah.
I can't say that I have a feud with any of my siblings. Particularly, I grew up more so with my twin, so I can say we have a love-hate relationship. And when I say that, I can love somebody. You can love somebody so much that you hate them sometimes. Sometimes I love my sister so much that I hate her sometimes for it.
See, I think
vice
maybe
versa.
strongly dislike would be better word, but
Detest,
I don't
loathe.
think you can hate somebody if you truly love them.
I truly love my sister, but it's like it's just sometimes it could be an annoying love. Like let me just be mad at you and not talk about you and not care about you at all. It's like I have a situation right now. Like all right, cool, deuces, but I don't feel like I can do that with my sister. because we're so close.
But I think it exists. I've seen it before, or whatever. And then like one of my great aunts or whatever, her and my grandma, like they stay at it. It's like, bro, what could y'all possibly mad at? Like, what are y'all mad about now?
Put
like,
them on the Jerry Springer show and see, like, maybe Jerry might be able to sort that out or something.
like, maybe we need to get them in here one day. Like,
You know what?
I
Matter
don't
of
know.
fact, let's get our mama fix my life into the situation. You think she'll still do a special episode for us?
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, at y'all big age, at y'all old age, what could y'all possibly?
Why you gotta say they old?
Because they are old.
Because they're old.
But it's like, what could y'all possibly be bickering about? Like, y'all act like y'all
Bro,
still
what?
5 and 7. Like, grow up.
I know we
They
said
fight-
life
it's
is
old
short, but
people
now
love.
life really getting short.
So it's old people love. Old
Yeah,
people
maybe
love.
that's what it is. Like, I
You
don't
know what? They argue so. You know what? It's if they've been through so much. That's why I call my grandpeople old peas, old people, because it's like y'all been through so much together. Y'all don't even know what to argue about now. Y'all just be fussing at each other just so y'all can hear each other's voices.
Right. And it don't be nothing, most of the time, it don't be nothing major. But then that's when you really have to act like, sometimes you gotta chill. You gotta chill. Because it would suck to, like, y'all say something to each other and then, God forbid, but, like, something happened. You know what I'm saying? And y'all bickering over something little.
No, but I think my version of old people love, when I say OP love, it's just like, it don't be nothing like malicious or anything. They just saying shit to just be saying shit.
Yeah, but still, like, imagine if that's the last thing you said to them. Like, that's fucked up. And then you gotta live with that. Like, sometimes you gotta just pick and choose. You gotta pick and choose. Sometimes if it's better to just shut up and not say nothing, just do that. Just do
Walk
that.
away.
Just, yeah. Like, I had a family, I told y'all my great aunt just passed the other day. And my great aunt, that's always, I say, arguing with my grandma, she basically walked in the house, starting a fight. And I said, like, I can't even say, like, damn, my aunt in the grave turning over, because she ain't even in the ground yet. Y'all arguing over the dead body. Like, that is terrible.
Man,
Why would you do that?
You know what's crazy? I found out maybe somewhere within the past year. You know how common fights are at funerals?
But that's what I'm
What?
saying.
A friend of
Like,
mine went to
Bro.
the funeral. Her aunt,
Yeah.
she came back with a damn bite mark on her hand, and
I'm not going to even
Yeah.
say
I've
it's.
been sitting here like, bro, I know everyone's not wilding at these funerals.
No,
and that's what I'm
not
saying.
gonna
Like, they ain't even make it to the funeral. Like, yeah, this lady body ain't even get out the house yet, and y'all in here arguing.
I'm gonna put it to you this way. I ain't gonna say because I don't want to say too much, but I can agree. It wasn't like so much physical, but the bickering get real. That shit get real after death.
It do.
But you know what then? But you know what the problem is though? When I say anytime people fight at a funeral, stuff was not dealt with when that person was alive.
I'd fight at a funeral, but not like as in this is about me. I'm mad about something, but
No.
more so act like you got some goddamn sense.
No, but what I'm saying is y'all did not squash whatever it was when that person was alive, and we've come to the conclusion that for instance, right? Y'all ever been to a funeral, right? And y'all look and that person be crying over the coffin and shit.
It's because they
Tryna
ain't do what
hide
they
it.
was supposed to do while they was here.
That's what I'm saying. So
It's that guilt.
So now, it's the same thing with fighting. Because y'all didn't establish anything when they were alive, right? You go in there fussing and fighting. That's why wills and shit and all that stuff is like important. People don't want to talk about death or anything, but I feel like while you're alive, you need to talk about certain things that
Well,
you
you're
would
not
want
here.
in place.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have
It's
to.
a conversation you have to have. A lot of people are afraid to because it makes you face your own mortality.
So what do y'all think can be done when we lose like matriarchs of families? Like, cause I lost both of my grandparents back in, 16 and then 17. But it's like now I'm still close to like my aunt and stuff, but like it's certain family members that like I don't really talk to or see anymore
So what
since
do you
they
do?
passed
See-
away. So it's like, cause that ain't just my family, that's all families. Like,
But you see, the problem with that is, I feel like in this generation, and I feel like I'm about to go real, like kind of like deep because like in a way of like third wave feminism, it's just like we almost lost that like matriarch. So like every time you go to a family event like that, that one person is going to be groomed. Like I feel like the two people I probably think is going to be the matriarch when my grandma leave is my aunts. It's my aunt and my mom, right? Because they're like been groomed. This is what you're going to do. You pass those things down. It's like when my sister, like when me and my sister get into the kitchen, we cook or whatever. We know that when my grandmother goes or whatever, my aunts and them, they can't do it anymore, whatever the case may be, it's going to be me and my sister that's going to be in the kitchen and keep those traditions alive. So now we live in a society now that it's like fuck patriarchy and fuck monarchy. So then who you going to go to when you go into like have a really, really big problem and you've never had this problem in the world? Are you going to go to your friends? No, because sometimes your friends don't even have the answers to it. No, you want to go to somebody who's been seasoned in life, who's been a vet in life, that you can go to and talk to these problems and be like, it's okay, because I went through it, and this is what I went to. But when you have, like I said, when you have a society who's trying to take that out of society, take the normal roles out of society, then you just have a bunch of lost people. That's just my take on it. I'm sorry, I kind of like went off the beaten path, but that's how I look at it.
What do y'all think? Like, what do y'all think can be done to keep the family like together when the older people start
passing away? Yeah, no, I think someone else just has to do it. Someone else has to like kind of step into place involuntarily, because no one's gonna sit here and say, okay, this is kind of who will help us figure this out. You know, I feel like it's just kind of involuntary. Someone who cares enough to stay in contact with everyone, to keep everyone together. And it's funny that you asked that, because like I want to say it's somewhere around like 10-ish, 12-ish years, maybe 20 years from now, I definitely want to be like that person in my family. As of right now, I'm getting everything all together and fixing shit. Like, but I know once, as I get older, I'll start to, you know what I'm saying, reach out to everyone else and start to keep everyone together as we start losing some folks, because someone has to do it.
You're grooming.
And no
like
one's thinking about that.
You're subconsciously grooming yourself.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like if you have like grandfathers or uncles or stuff that you talk to that are older than you, like they kind of like in the know, like in their mind, like they're grooming you to like, oh, he's going to be like a patriarch of the family. Like he's going to be that guy that you can go to. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My mom is the matriarch of her family, and she does like all the planning for Christmas, all that shit. So I'm seeing all this. I hope to be one that for my family too.
Yeah.
So
Mine is gonna be ours too.
I know for myself, like maybe somewhere like you said down the road, but like right now, nah, that ain't.
No, you training right now.
But at the same time, I feel like, because I was thinking too, like, I know growing up, we used to have, like, I got, like, well, I'm not anymore, but, like, I would have some, like, family reunion t-shirts and stuff. I can't even think of the last time we had a family reunion.
Damn.
And that's even when my grandparents were still alive, though, because as my grandparents and stuff were getting older, and then, like, my grandpa, like, his siblings and stuff, too, or whatever, they was passing it on to, like, my dad and his first cousins and stuff. They were the ones that was supposed to be putting this stuff together, but like nobody ever took the time or initiative to actually put it together.
Okay, so since you brought up the thing of family reunions, when the last time everybody had a family reunion?
Couldn't tell you.
Never.
Shit.
Could not tell you.
Never had one.
Couldn't tell you. Now we get together for like.
I say that because it's just like, and it goes back to, is a nuclear family in danger? That's what we're gonna get into. I want to get into next, but it's like I sit here, like I just say, we've had our reunion for like 90 plus years.
See, that's good.
Every year.
And that's on either side.
Second week in September.
Like my mom's family, I damn sure couldn't tell you. Now my dad's side, definitely when I was like younger. And I'm gonna be real, the last one I remember was in South Carolina, and I might have been 05 or 6 or something,
Hell,
maybe.
Like 14, 15.
I was in high school, for sure. That's the last one I remember, and that was like kind of small. That wasn't even nothing major.
Everybody.
Nope.
So that's why I'm like asking. So then we can go back. I want to go back into it. Like I got two questions. Do y'all think the nuclear family is in danger? And do you feel that the black nuclear family was systematically destroyed so that the government can have control after the civil rights movement.
Government got control
That's
either way it goes.
conspiracy theory.
But
I mean, it's a conspiracy, but think about it. The facts are out there. More black. There were more black two-family homes prior to the civil rights movement and then after the civil rights movement. These are statistics. These are statistically proven facts. If you want to look, you can go look. Cause I think I did a whole paper. I did a whole paper on it in college, and I just found it like really ironic. And I mean, nothing for nothing, but I feel like blacks did better before the civil rights, without the Civil Rights Act bill. That's just my opinion. We're not gonna go into that's a different discussion.
I would even go as far back. I would even go as far back as to when slavery was made, quote unquote, illegal. To say that that was probably the breakdown of it, like because that was really truly the beginning of mass incarceration.
Well, right around desegregation.
Not
No.
desegregation.
Right when we first technically became free, except the state of Mississippi.
Yes.
I can understand. I can see you saying that, and I feel like that's the reason
that's a
why
big factor.
it goes back to like us being so. That's why I said I can't speak for everybody's. I can't speak for everybody's community. I can only speak for my community, and you can see the family orientedness of it, and it goes back from slave times. Because if I see Pop on the slave block, we don't know where Pop going. Pop can be going from Mississippi to North Carolina. Pop can be going to Florida. Pop can be going to Virginia.
Yeah.
We may not never see that man again. So then it goes to the family of sense, like, okay, we gotta do this so that our family unit can stay together. And then you could understand like the need in the black family, the family orientedness of it. It really stems from past trauma almost.
So a lot of it do, and I also feel like because of the traumatic effect that slavery had on people, I feel like just in general, I feel like family was valued more. People, and then you ain't have time. Like, I'm not about to argue with you over why you get home at this time, or why you like all the little stuff that. Now I ain't gonna say if somebody have a pattern or some don't question it, but a lot of the things that people argue over now, y'all arguing about social media and all of this little stuff in relationships, like. You think your great whoever was arguing about? No, they ain't have time to argue about little stuff. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So my question is, as far as the nuclear family go, do y'all feel that the nuclear family is in danger?
If it wasn't already out the window, I think it kind of is now.
And do y'all
in terms
feel that
of the
the
black-
nuclear family is needed? Go ahead.
Do I feel like it's needed? Not exactly. I'm also on the side of alternative lifestyles, but what I was gonna say was, yeah, I don't think destroying the black nuclear family was for control because, like Casey said, the government got control either way. I think the thing that really started breaking up like the black nuclear family is one, with the Industrial Revolution, everyone got different jobs, everyone started moving. It was easy to support families, but at the same time, we had so much shit for everyone to start going toward. Then you had computers and everything else like coming into place. But either way, right around when slavery was made illegal, that's when they could just start pulling everybody from off the streets and into jails. That kind of already broke everything up. And then when did desegregation come into play?
Like 1965, I think.
Okay,
Somewhere
but
around
yeah,
there.
when right around that just kind of muddied the water some more, to be honest. Like, yeah, I think that just kind of muddied the water some more. But I mean, at the same time, with the way we all kind of live now, I feel like if the nuclear family wasn't kind of already out the window, it definitely is now. Just because everyone's finding and trying out and accepting like new ways to live.
Yeah.
You have some people that don't have any kids, some people that don't want kids. You have people with 19 or more. You have families that live in buses. You have families that live in campgrounds, families that just have houses. Everyone's just kind of finding different things. They're just trying
You
to...
have more single family homes. You have
Yeah.
homosexual homes.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of things that play into it.
But I'm saying you could be in a
It's more socially
homosexual.
acceptable now.
Hold up. You can have a homosexual home, but it's two parents in the household, and you can almost
always have
consider
to be.
that. You can almost consider that a nuclear family
I think
because
it
it's
is.
two. Because you
It's
have
still two
two. You got two
Yeah.
two parents. Cause that's what we could. Let's pull the definition.
But see,
of
that's
nuclear
in
family.
your eyes. So it's like, you know, me and my mom, we've always been close, but like I feel like over the last few years we've gotten closer or whatever. Like I didn't plan on ever really dating females. It just kind of happened. But of course, one of the first things she asked me was like, "Do you still want kids?" And I'm like, "Yes." And she was like, "Well, how do you plan on doing that?" And I'm like, "You know, I have options. I don't know which one I would want to take, what route I would want to go yet. But I know I still want kids or whatever. But a lot of it is just people getting out of traditionalism, like you said. Like, and I mean, I guess if you want to say alternative, that would be considered alternative to some people. To me, you just like who you like and you love who you love. You know what I mean? But because I know even now, like, you know, you might have relationships that are not monogamous. It might be a household of 3 or 4 partners or however many. You know what I'm saying?
It works if the people choose to let it work. Oh, but I mean, I tend to throw alternative everywhere. Like, for example, me feeling like, you know what I'm saying, me being a cat person feels like an alternative lifestyle to me because so many people choose not to care about, you know what I'm saying, being a cat person. So I use alternative loosely. Just anything I think that's not generally the norm.
Yeah.
But
And it's not.
But I'm
Because
just
everything
saying,
doesn't work for everybody.
if you look at the definition of nuclear family, they say the definition is, right, a family group that consists only of parents and children. So let's say we can go to Africa where the man has like 4 wives. That doesn't, and they have their kids. That doesn't negate the fact that they're not a nuclear family. Because its definition says, because all the moms are moms and the dad is a dad. That doesn't negate that they're not a nuclear family.
Yeah, that's why we like using in terms like traditional. Like,
Yeah, I was about to say.
and it definitely in
it's
like
two
Western
parents.
society, like American society, like that's what they really, really
But then,
push for.
Around.
but I'm just saying, like, given that Western society is broad now, I'm gonna use I use the word broad strongly, and we have the same like as parent. Like I said, it could be a homosexual couple, it could be a heterosexual couple, it could be a monogamous couple, it could be a polygamous couple. Polyamorous, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Couple. There's still, to me, that's still kind of like considered a nuclear family. I feel like anytime you have a, I'm not saying, but there are many reasons why we have single household families, but I feel like 2 parents in a way in a household, it kind of like you get things from both parents. I feel like kids need that, in my opinion.
I feel like it's useful for them to have. Controversial, hot take. I don't think it's needed to have 2 parents. I feel like the majority of us have made it pretty well without 2 parents. Would we have 1 and 2 parents? Yes, and it would have been preferred, and it probably would have also done a really good amount of, you know what I'm saying, of help with us, you know what I'm saying, growing up. But at the same time, I feel like we've all, like, collectively over generations proven time and time again you don't need both parents.
I feel like it goes back to like when they say it takes a village, whether it's a 1 parent or 2 parent household. 1 or 2, you ain't doing it alone.
Mhm.
My parents didn't do it alone.
It's everything.
I mean,
My
of course
grandparents
it
helped them out. So
And it
yeah,
goes
it
back
is a
to-
hot take, but I do feel like you don't need to.
And I say this coming from a single parent home. It's not that my mom didn't have help. She had a great support system. That's
Yeah.
why we, to the point that, what the hell is childcare? Because I can't relate. I can't relate to childcare problems. I can't.
That's what I'm saying. So single family, like 2 parent, it doesn't matter because it's still
However,
taken.
However, I kind of like, that was one of the things that I envied about my cousins. Like, they had like 2 parent households.
Right.
I envy that. I wanted a 2 parent household, and I kind of like. Sometimes I wish like, what would have been if I did grow up in a 2 parent household. I'm not saying they're perfect, but like I always like put that always in the back of my head. What if I grew up in a 2 parent household?
I think that's always gonna be something like, especially from a kid's perspective. But I feel like as you get older, like you are now, do you still feel that way? Like now that you're older, like, oh, I wish this, or I would, like,
Yeah.
do you still feel that way?
Yeah. That's why I said, like, whoever I have had kids with, I prefer to be married. I prefer to be married before I have kids.
I mean, I feel that.
And
I
if
do
we
too.
break up,
Yeah.
our breakup is to a point that we have the understanding that our breakup has nothing to do with the kids. If we have a parents-teacher conference, I expect you to be there regardless what
Yeah.
we have going on. If my kid has a damn recital, if they get in trouble, regardless if we're bickering, that we're not here for that. We're there for that kid. I always want my kids to feel that they have two parents that they can come to at any time.
Yeah, families look different, and I'm kind of glad you brought that up because we didn't like discuss it or have it down. But I think co-parenting is important. Like it's a
Co-parent,
necessity.
see.
And then if it's to the point where like you're remarried and stuff, you know, creating that blended family. Like my mom always talk about like, cause technically my mom has 2 stepmothers, but she always talk about that first one a lot because of the environment and the loving nature that she created, you know, when my mom was younger.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And even now to this day, I call her grandma so-and-so. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Or whatever. I know she ain't really my grandma, but, you know,
Shit,
that's
y'all,
just
that's
the...
your grandma.
That's the connection and
That's grandma.
the, you know?
Ain't no
So-
step over here. That's grandma. Yeah, I got like 3 grandmas. Yeah,
Well,
I
I'm
do.
saying that
No,
because, like...
I'm joking.
No, I know, but I told you my grandpa had remarried
Yeah.
somebody else also.
Yeah.
So, you know, by the time I came around, he wasn't with this person no more.
Is that right? That's
But,
it, grandma.
you know, I think co-parenting is important. Like you said, it
Yeah.
don't have nothing to do with us or the relationship. It's about the kids at the end of the day.
And when I say co-parenting, you could be a single parent and be married. Nobody wants to talk about that. You can be a single parent and be married.
It's so funny you said that and that he like what? But when I went to visit some family a few years ago, like my cousin's wife said that because he works so much. His job requires him to be gone from home a lot. And she said that. Now it's getting better now. His role then kind of calmed down, or I think he actually worked for another company now. So he's home a lot more. But
That's why co-parenting is important.
that's why it's like, yes, finances are important, especially in today's society.
Hell
Can't
yeah.
knock that. Like it's such
But-
a strain on the middle class and like upper
Shit.
middle class.
Is it a middle class? But you know, that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah, but it still is for now. It still is for now. But yes, you have to provide financially, but you have to provide emotionally as well and mentally. Like
And-
it's just as important or whatever.
And this may seem mediocre and me being old fashioned and stuff, but I always say that boys need their mothers just as much as they need their fathers, and girls need their fathers just as much as they need their mother.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
Because there's certain things a man can teach a girl that a woman cannot. And vice versa, a woman can teach a man that a man cannot. That's not negating the fact that certain things need to be a man and a woman thing.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. I know that, like, whenever I have kids, I cannot teach my daughter how to be a woman. I
Exactly.
can't. I know there's so much I'm not able to teach her because I don't
But
understand that
there's
shit
certain
myself.
things that a man can teach his daughter.
But what did
Yeah.
you say like before we even started this?
Yeah.
If you want to know something, you can do what?
You can always look that shit up.
That's like a lot of
It's so
daddies. I'm not
easy.
gonna say it
Bro, it
come
takes
natural
30
for a
seconds.
man to know how to do hair, but like somebody I know from high school, like it's so cute. He'll post like videos of him and his daughter,
I'm not saying that you
in the
can't do
future.
it.
right?
In the future.
And he be doing his daughter hair, and I just think it's like the cutest thing in the world.
But I feel like that bonding, like, so when she goes out and she finds her spouse, or whoever her spouse want to do, she knows that, like, I want somebody that kind of like imitates my dad.
Yeah, for sure. So like,
He-
yeah,
That's a different conversation.
because I get what you saying or whatever, but like me and my ex had this conversation
Yeah.
because it's like, okay, if I'm in a relationship and I choose to marry a woman, right? A man is never gonna be in the picture. Well, probably not. I'm saying this to say I was on the side of I just want it to be us. She was on the side of whoever we choose for our sperm donor to be. I want this person in the picture.
But then then it goes to negate to the fact that means you're gonna have to personally pick a sperm donor that is willing to be in that child's life.
Yeah.
You can't go to a sperm bank for that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that anyway, personally.
Oh, I got you, because you gotta see. Shit, there's a lot of things like I got you.
I wouldn't do that anyway, personally speaking. But I can't speak for others. You know what I mean? But like I don't know. I feel like yeah, it could be better to maybe have that third person, but I also feel like it could be more confusing and complicate things more too.
I don't think it would complicate it more if it's explained in a way that the kid understands.
Not even that. Say that, say the sperm donor for whatever reason decide, well, this is my kid, and then I just feel like it could get messy.
I wonder, are
But
they able
then-
to take the kid like that?
Yes, they can actually.
I feel like they could. Yeah,
They can.
Also, one more thing, would you be able to put that person on child support?
Yes, you can. Yes, you
And
can.
that's why I said, me being me, I would get everything out in writing.
That's what I'm saying.
As you should.
But a lot of people, I feel like, don't even think,
Well,
that
get everything
or whatever.
right.
But you would have to me, that's why I said. And for me, I would just want mom and mom. I don't feel like we have to have mom, dad, because I keep saying, it takes a village. I could be go over there and ask your Uncle James or go ask Uncle Vibes. I don't need a man in my life to, you get what I'm saying? I don't need the sperm donor around to.
I mean, you don't need you see what you're saying is you don't need the sperm donor around, but you do need a man. around.
Yeah, to teach certain things if it was a boy or even maybe a girl to do certain things. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, no matter how people want to put this, I'm going to just say this is a hot topic. This is a controversial statement I'm going to say. At the end of the day, whether you're in a heterosexual relationship or a homosexual relationship, you're always going to need the opposite sex for something.
For something, yeah.
Period. And to me, I hate that narrative that they're just trying to put out there that, oh, I don't need a man, I don't need a woman. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Hell, you can't even have a kid without an egg and a sperm. You can't.
I give it 30 years. I'm pretty sure they'll figure out a way. I don't know if they even looking for
But what
give
I'm
it 30 years. I
saying
feel like they'll find a way.
is
Someone
you
will find a
still
way.
want to have it, rather if it's an artificial egg and an artificial sperm, you still going to have both of them. Period. Look what they're trying to do with transgender women now. They're trying to make uterus transplants. How that shit gonna work? I really want to see how this is gonna go. However, that
Technology
is
is scary.
however,
Technology is scary.
however, but at the end of the day, you still need a woman. You still need a biologically born woman for uterus.
I'm not gonna lie. If they could figure that out, I would be 100% convinced that they already figured out cloning.
They already have
I
figured
think
out
about
cloning.
cloning. They just don't want to. They just don't. It's illegal. It's illegal.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I would have
It's
to make
illegal.
that shit illegal. Like
And I
for
would
time
put-
travel.
And
I feel like
I think they got
couldn't
time
let us know
travel
that
too.
either.
I think I had time travel too because we have deja vu moments that I should not be
But I
having.
mean, think
but
of it
that's
like this.
we're getting off topic. We're getting off topic.
I'm gonna say the question for later then.
All right. But at the end of the day, we need each other. We need both sex. And I'm just so tired of the narrative saying that we don't need you, we don't need you. And I'm just tired of it. Like, just call a spade a spade. We need each other.
We do. And that's why I keep saying it takes a village, whether it's a 1 parent, 2 parent, 3, 4, however many household, it's still, either way, it takes a village. It's never going to be, I'm doing this on my own. Like, I know for a fact my parents could not have done this without my grandparents' help. Period.
So, I mean, we good? Y'all I think we got everything
Bro,
off
we
our
have a lot of
chest.
content.
Yeah.
So, you know what? With that being said, my fellow strangers, what do y'all think about the conversation? Do y'all think family matters? Let's talk about it in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. And we are out until the next time. Be good, my strangers.